Did you know that anger is one of the top reasons kids are sent to therapy? A study from the American Academy of Pediatrics shows that 1 in 5 children struggle with anger issues that affect their daily life. What's even more shocking? Children who don't learn to manage their anger are at a higher risk for anxiety, depression, and trouble forming friendships later in life. But here's the good news: you have the power to help. By understanding how anger impacts young minds and using the right strategies, you can guide your child through those tough emotions and turn frustration into growth. In this video, we'll explore how anger affects your child's emotional development, their social skills, and even their long-term mental health. We'll also dive into simple, science-backed strategies you can use to help your child manage anger. From calming techniques to communication tips, we've got you covered. Stick around as we reveal how turning anger into a learning opportunity can shape your child's future for the better. Chapter 1. The Silent Storm. How anger brews in little hearts. Anger in young children can feel like a silent storm, building up slowly before exploding. Children often lack the tools to express their frustration verbally, so their anger might show up as temper tantrums, shouting, or even physical aggression. A study by the American Academy of Pediatrics, AAP, found that children between the ages of 3 and 5 experience emotional outbursts as they begin learning how to regulate their feelings. But what causes this silent storm? Research suggests that anger in children often comes from feeling misunderstood or unable to meet their desires. A lack of control over their environment can be a big trigger. For example, when a child is told no or is asked to stop doing something fun, they might feel a rush of frustration. Another reason for anger is the child's inability to express themselves clearly. When a child can't find the right words, they often turn to actions. As parents, it's essential to look for the signs of brewing anger. A child who is quiet, withdrawing, or starting to clench their fists could be on the edge of a meltdown. Children don't express anger as clearly as adults, but their body language is a dead giveaway, says psychologist Dr. Janet S. Kloss. Listening closely and observing their behavior can help parents intervene before the storm hits. One powerful strategy for managing these early signs is to model calmness. If a child sees you staying composed during stressful moments, they begin to mirror that. You can also teach simple breathing exercises. A study by the University of California found that children as young as 4 can learn to calm themselves through deep breathing. This is a small step, but it goes a long way. Also, consistency is key. Children need routines because they create a sense of control. When life feels predictable, children are less likely to lash out in anger. So, make sure to stick to routines where possible, especially around meal times, naps, and bedtime. Lastly, as a parent, it's vital to address your own triggers. If you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, your child will pick up on those emotions. Managing your own anger is just as important as teaching your child to handle theirs. The best way to teach a child about anger is by showing them how you manage yours, says parenting expert Dr. Mark M. Donnelly. Chapter 2. The Ripple Effect. Anger's Influence on Emotional Growth. Anger doesn't just affect a child in the moment. It has a ripple effect that can impact their emotional development for years to come. According to a study by the National Institute of Mental Health, children who struggle to manage anger tend to have more difficulties with peer relationships and school performance. The early years are crucial for emotional development, and how a child experiences and deals with anger can shape their self-esteem and confidence later in life. When anger becomes a common reaction, children might start seeing themselves as bad or out of control. This can lead to feelings of shame and guilt. These feelings can get in the way of forming healthy relationships. Children with poor emotional regulation might push others away or even become overly aggressive to gain attention or assert control. One of the most effective ways to stop this negative pattern is to encourage emotional expression. Children need to know that it's okay to feel angry, but they also need to understand that how they express it matters. Teaching children to label their emotions with words is one way to start. For example, instead of yelling, they can say, "I'm really frustrated right now," the power of validation cannot be underestimated. When you validate your child's feelings, you send the message that their emotions are normal and acceptable. A study from the University of Denver revealed that children who felt understood by their parents were more likely to develop strong emotional intelligence and better social skills. There are also other techniques that can help. A simple one is time in, which is different from time out. Instead of isolating a child when they misbehave, time in focuses on spending time with them to calm down. This technique is shown to help children feel supported and less anxious about expressing their feelings. Parents can also create a feelings chart to help their child identify and manage their emotions. Research shows that having a visual aid can make it easier for children to recognize their feelings and communicate them more effectively. Some charts include faces with different expressions, while others use color codes for various emotions. Remember, consistency is key. If a child is allowed to express their anger in a healthy way repeatedly, they will eventually learn to do it on their own. This helps them not only manage anger but also gain confidence in their emotional growth. Chapter 3. Anger at Play: How it Shapes Social Skills and Friendships. Anger can have a major impact on a child's ability to make and keep friends. A child who has trouble managing their anger may struggle with peer relationships. Research shows that children with poor impulse control are more likely to be rejected by their peers and have difficulty forming lasting friendships. Anger often leads to outbursts or inappropriate reactions, which can leave other children feeling uncomfortable or even scared. But this doesn't mean that a child is doomed to have trouble with friendships. In fact, anger can be a powerful tool for teaching children valuable social skills. If you teach your child how to handle their anger properly, they can use that emotional energy to strengthen their connections with others. One useful strategy for helping children with social skills is to role-play different scenarios. For instance, you can act out how to ask for a toy nicely or how to take turns without getting upset. A study by the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, NICHD, found that children who practiced social skills in a controlled setting were more successful at using them in real-life situations. Another important aspect is teaching empathy. Children who understand how their actions affect others are more likely to act with kindness. One way to teach empathy is to ask your child how they would feel in another child's shoes. How do you think your friend felt when you took their toy? Can spark thoughtful discussions about others' emotions. It's also crucial to reinforce positive behavior when your child manages their anger well. If a child reacts to a frustrating situation with words instead of aggression, make sure to praise them for it. "Good job using your words" goes a long way. Positive reinforcement encourages your child to repeat that behavior. In addition, group activities like team sports or cooperative games are perfect opportunities for children to practice managing frustration while learning teamwork. A study in the Journal of Abnormal Child Psychology found that children who participated in group activities learned better impulse control and communication skills. Lastly, teaching children the importance of taking breaks can help them manage their anger in social situations. Encouraging your child to step away from a situation when they feel angry can prevent the situation from escalating. Giving them the language to say, "I need a break," can allow them to handle their emotions before they act out. By focusing on these strategies, parents can help their children build solid friendships and improve their social skills, all while managing their anger in a healthy way. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on raising emotionally healthy kids. Chapter 4. The Power of Patience: Transforming Anger into Connection. Patience is one of the most powerful tools parents can use when helping children manage their anger. But it's not always easy, especially when emotions are running high. A study by the American Psychological Association, APA, found that when parents respond calmly and patiently, their children are more likely to learn to regulate their emotions. When you remain patient, you're not just calming your child down in the moment, you're also teaching them a vital life skill. One of the first steps in practicing patience is deep breathing. By taking slow, deep breaths yourself, you show your child that calmness is possible, even in stressful situations. The University of Minnesota found that children who learned to practice deep breathing had a 60% decrease in aggression in school settings. You don't have to do it alone either. Invite your child to join you in taking deep breaths. This creates a shared moment of calm that can be powerful in those tense moments. Another important strategy is giving your child choices. When they feel in control of a situation, their anger levels can decrease. Instead of saying, "Stop yelling," try offering choices like, "Would you like to take a deep breath or go to your room to calm down?" This simple technique works because it shifts the focus from punishment to problem solving. A study by the Child Development Institute showed that children who are given appropriate choices feel more in control and less frustrated. Validating your child's emotions also plays a big role in transforming anger into connection. Instead of dismissing their feelings, try saying, "I see that you're angry because you didn't get what you wanted, and that's frustrating." This acknowledgement helps your child feel understood and supported. Research from the University of Denver shows that when parents validate their children's feelings, it strengthens the emotional bond between them, which can reduce anger over time. Additionally, remember to model problem solving. When a child is angry, it's easy for them to feel like there's no way out. By calmly walking them through solutions, you demonstrate how to approach problems without resorting to anger. A 2017 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that children who learned problem-solving techniques from their parents were better at managing frustration in difficult situations. Lastly, don't forget to be consistent. When a child sees that you remain patient and calm, even during their emotional outbursts, they start to understand that their feelings won't lead to chaos. This consistency builds trust, which is the foundation of any positive relationship. Remember, patience isn't just about waiting, it's about choosing to remain calm and present, no matter how stormy the emotions may get. Subscribe to our channel for more insights into positive parenting strategies. Chapter 5. Breaking the Cycle. How Parents' Anger Impacts Parenting. As parents, it's easy to forget that our own anger can impact our children more than we realize. Studies show that when parents react angrily to a child's outbursts, it can make the situation worse, creating a cycle of anger that continues into the child's adulthood. Research from the University of Minnesota reveals that children who grow up in homes with high levels of parental anger are more likely to struggle with their own emotional regulation and relationships later in life. Breaking this cycle starts with understanding that your child is learning how to manage their emotions by watching you. Dr. Laura Markham, a well-known parenting expert, suggests that parents who stay calm during tantrums teach their children how to handle difficult emotions. Children don't learn emotional regulation from lectures, they learn from how we handle our own feelings, she writes in her book Peaceful Parent, Happy Kids. One effective strategy is to pause before reacting. When you feel anger bubbling up inside, take a moment to breathe and center yourself. A study by the American Psychological Association found that taking just 10 seconds to pause and breathe before responding can dramatically lower the intensity of your emotional reaction. This simple practice gives you the space to respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. Another way to break the cycle is to examine your triggers. Understanding what sets you off can help you anticipate when your anger might flare. Are you more likely to lose patience when you're tired or stressed? Identifying your triggers allows you to take preventive steps, like asking for help or taking a break before the situation escalates. Self-care is also a vital part of managing parental anger. When you're well rested, eating well, and finding time for activities that relax you, you're more able to handle stress calmly. Research by the Mayo Clinic shows that parents who take care of their mental and physical health are better able to manage stress, which makes it easier to handle their child's anger without reacting harshly. Don't forget to apologize if you lose your temper. Children who see their parents own up to their mistakes and apologize learn the valuable lesson of humility. A 2020 study in the Journal of Child Psychology found that children who experienced apologies from their parents after moments of conflict were more likely to engage in positive behaviors and were less prone to anger themselves. By breaking the cycle of anger, you not only improve your own emotional well-being, but you also help your child develop healthier emotional habits. With time, patience, and self-awareness, parents can teach their children that there is always a better way to handle frustration than through anger. Chapter 6. The Healing Path. Turning anger into personal growth. Anger doesn't always have to be seen as a negative emotion. In fact, when handled properly, it can be a powerful tool for personal growth. Anger, when expressed appropriately, can signal that something is wrong or needs to change. The trick is to help children understand that anger is a signal, not a command to act out. One approach is to encourage your child to view anger as a tool for self-awareness. For example, ask them, "What do you think made you so angry?" This simple question helps children pause and reflect on their feelings. A study by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, suggests that children who are taught to reflect on their emotions are better able to manage them, even as they grow older. Teaching children to channel their anger into productive activities can also be empowering. Activities like drawing, journaling, or even physical exercises like running or jumping jacks can help release pent-up energy. A study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that children who engaged in physical activity were able to reduce emotional stress and manage anger more effectively. It's also crucial to focus on the positive outcomes of managing anger. Teach your child that anger can be a sign of needing change or setting boundaries. Anger is a motivator, not a destroyer, says Dr. Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence. By teaching your child to view anger as an opportunity to express needs or make positive changes, you help them reframe their emotional experience. Another strategy for turning anger into growth is goal setting. When a child gets angry, it might be because they feel frustrated by a situation. Helping them set small, achievable goals can teach them that there is a path to success, even when things don't go their way. Research by the University of Michigan shows that children who set and achieve goals have higher levels of self-esteem and emotional resilience. Finally, praise your child for successfully managing their anger. Positive reinforcement encourages them to repeat calm behaviors in the future. A 2019 study in developmental psychology found that children who were praised for their emotional control were more likely to demonstrate higher levels of emotional regulation in the future. By guiding children through anger in a way that promotes growth, you not only help them manage their emotions but also teach them valuable life skills. With patience, understanding, and practice, anger can be transformed from a destructive force into a powerful tool for personal development. Don't forget to hit subscribe to get more parenting tips that help your child thrive.